What time is it? Game time! Boo!
What up, Hollywood Polo? How was your day? It's your boys, Detroit Love, PDubs, Michael B. the Game Genie, and Nostalgia with another episode of the Super GameRoom Dudes. Let's get it started!
Welcome to the show. What's going on, boy? What's up? What is up? It is Friday. You are in the funhouse. So how you guys doing today? We got an echo. Who's got an extra mic turned on?
I blame Detroit Love's fault. Yeah, whenever something goes wrong, you just blame Detroit Love.
Yeah. All right, guys. Hopefully you guys liked that nice little HBO intro. That was a lot of fun. Who remembers HBO? Carl, you remember HBO on the weekends. And whenever that would fire up before a movie would start, we'd get all hyped. Like that was the song, wasn't it, my friend?
Absolutely, absolutely. HBO was the man. That was the spot.
Michael B., did that bring back memories? You didn't know I was going to play that, did you?
I don't know if we had HBO in Canada.
You had on TV, right?
Geez, I can't remember. I had the Atlantic Satellite Network here in Maritimes.
I'm seeing a lot of great comments in the chat from the usual suspects. All the usual suspects are here. We got Mike Caputo. We got Kamla. Hollywood Polo. How was your day? Hank Slight. Dan Freeman. Jaster. The Atari 2600. William Tinney. Who else is in this chat? Oh, my God. Everybody's here today. We absolutely love this.
Full house.
I mean, geez, everybody's here. Even Nostalgia. How you doing, Nostalgia?
I'm alive. About to go into another lockdown.
Oh, no kidding.
Province-wide lockdown.
Yeah. Listen, I'm a little thrown off right here. Whenever I hear the HBO opening, I expect to see Red Shoe Diaries. So is that coming on after this?
No, but stay tuned for a brand new episode of Tales from the Crypt. right after this one. Nikki's here. We love Nikki. What's up, Nikki? All right, we got a ton to talk about. As you guys know, what we love about our show is we cover everybody, right? So we're going to try and cover as many companies and products and things going on in the arcade and gaming world for you as quickly as possible. And if you don't believe that that's the truth, Restalgia says it's for real with Restalgia.
Dear God.
Oh man, that's what nightmares are made out of.
Guys, take your screenshots now. That is one of this week's. That's right, the first for real with Restalgia. There might be more later on in the show, and I saved the best for last. Shout out to Kama. Who's got that game in the background? What is that?
That's Carl as well.
Carl again, man.
Carl.
Come on, baby. Hey,
Oh,
Google,
man.
turn off the arcade.
There you go.
Every single person we had watching, their entire arcade just went off.
Yeah.
Feed everything.
Well, we people come here for the information, but they stay for the giggles. Isn't that what we say, Michael B?
It's the first time I've heard that, man.
All right, let's start burning through these companies, right? First thing, let's talk about the MVSX cabinet, guys. If you're interested in the MVSX cabinet, I did release a video earlier this week on my channel, but just as a reminder, the MVSX cabinets are in stock. Just go to snkmvsx.com and click on where to buy, and go ahead and click on buy now and get your orders in. Products are in stock, shipping out promptly. So if you're interested in this product, you definitely want to do it. And Restalgia, what are your thoughts, my friend, that I did confirm with Bill and the team there that although they told us when I interviewed him a month ago that they were probably going to have to block the high-low hack on these machines in future waves, this particular wave, it's not blocked. Is that a good sign, my friend?
I don't know if it's a good sign, but that means that anyone who wants to get their hands on this to mod it, now's your time, because you're kind of at their mercy for when they do decide to block it. That being said, even if they try to block the high-low hack, I mean, these systems are not overly complex, so somebody else will eventually just find a mod and put it in place. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there have been a couple of videos out where they're doing retro arch on these as well, which I say, have you ever saved a bunch of videos to like your favorites on your YouTube, and then you're like, I'm going to go back and watch these later, but I haven't watched them yet. But I saw that they've been running retro arch on these cabinets as well, played a bunch of games that way. Also, they have increased the speakers. The speakers now have 5 watts instead of 3. And the buttons themselves are longer stem, screw-on hap-style buttons, I believe. So when it comes to modding, I guess one of the complaints was you couldn't get the buttons out of this cabinet in order to mod it. So now they put screw-in buttons. So if you wanted to take these out and put in more premium buttons, you can. So they've put in a couple of slight improvements. Detroit Love, how are you feeling about all this good stuff?
Hey, now, are they better buttons just screw on, or do they go with cheaper buttons since you're going to take them out?
Well, from what I heard, it's pretty much the same button, just a longer stem with a screw on. So, I mean, yeah, I've been talking with Bill over there. Bill's an awesome dude. We all love Bill. Yep, Neo Geo is pretty cool. I do like the MVSX. That's right back there somewhere behind me. Very fun cabinet, of course, with the high-low hack. But the interesting thing is that eventually in future waves, when they release these cabinets, they're probably going to block at least the high-low hack on the firmwares that come with the machine, right? From what they've been telling us. How do you guys feel about that? Anybody?
It's not going to happen. Not going to.
You don't think it's going to happen?
No, there's no point to do that. I mean, it's not like they're supporting it. It's just something that somebody could do. They're better off just forgetting about it altogether, focus on their own business, and just leaving that in the dust. And if people want to do that, fine. But don't go out of your way to try to stop it. Just, don't acknowledge it. It doesn't exist. Just keep making your awesome product and let people do whatever they want.
Yeah. Yep. So guys,
can I say something? I did watch your video, and I did see this information. I was very impressed by the fact that they upgraded the speakers. I still haven't got a chance to play it because it's still at Restalgia's house, and it hasn't been sent to me yet for review.
It's literally sitting in a box. I was waiting for my contact to send me a shipping label, and he never did. So I've sent him a few emails since then, and he just doesn't respond. So at this point, I'm like, okay, well, it's just going to sit in a box in my garage until I'm told to ship it. So whatever.
So you've had this cabinet that's supposed to be making the rounds to other reviewers, and
Not exactly. So this machine was sent to me. It was one of the signing machines. So I signed it and I did my review on it. And then he was like, okay, send this back to me now so we can do whatever auction they're going to do. And I was like, okay, cool. Send me a shipping label. And he was like, okay, I'll get back to you. And then he never did. And then I reached out to him a couple weeks later and I was like, hey man, this is just kind of sitting in my garage. Like, what do you want me to do with this thing? And he's like, okay, well, just give me a couple more weeks and I'll let you know. And then nothing. And then like a month and a half later, he messaged me. He's like, oh, I totally forgot. And I was like, well, there's another YouTuber in Canada. You know, I can send it to him if you want. He can do a review. And he's like, yeah, it's a great idea. Get me his information. So I did. And he's like, okay, I'll get you a shipping label. And he never got me a shipping label. So now it's in limbo.
And like you, Dubs, I was originally on the list to do it, and I got the notification that there's not enough time. So, you know, two different ways here. I've been trying to get my hands on this so I can take a look at it. I'm
telling you guys, man, this thing it's going to end up. I'm going to use the squatters rule, and if it's sticking with me for another month, it's just mine. I own it.
You're like, it's mine.
Anyways, I did get a little sidetracked there. I was very impressed by the fact they went to a 5-inch speaker, but I was surprised that they didn't move the speakers. 5 watts. Sorry. I was surprised they didn't move the speakers up to under the marquee. I was surprised they kept them where they were because I remember there was a lot of feedback that people weren't exactly happy with the speaker placement. So if they had an opportunity to do a revision, and that seems like a pretty simple revision, I'm surprised they didn't move the speakers.
Yeah, guys, what do you guys think? Should they move the speakers or just have them putting out more powerful and clear sound? From the waist level point of view, I mean, if you're just going to keep it as a bar top, I mean, the speakers by the control panel, I guess, aren't that big of a deal. But if you're going to have it on the base like I do right back there, like, honestly, like, the sound is going at the crotch level, right?
I was about to say that. Wait a minute. So this machine provides crotch haptic feedback? Leave it the way it is.
Yeah, haptic feedback, tactile feedback all over the groin area, but not on the ears, man. And that's what we want. So Neo Geo, SNK, MVSX, Unico. God, man, there's so many words there. Do us a favor on a future wave of this cabinet. Try and put those speakers up by the marquee area underneath the marquee. I think that would be great. All right, guys, let's move on. We got a lot of companies and stuff we want to talk about. Latest news from the Toy Shock front is a lot of folks were hoping that this month was the month that they were going to receive their 1.3 version PCB boards that were promised to them, that they also paid $10 for. Jeff Falke got on the Toy Shock fan page just a couple of days ago, left a very long, detailed, apologetic explanation, letting folks know that, hey, unfortunately, due to these circuit board issues going on overseas, that these PCB boards are delayed and they're not going to be coming until, I believe he said, end of April, May. So it looks like another month delay or so before people get these. Ristalgia, you could probably kind of speak to this. What is going on with the PCB boards overseas? This is actually going to impact a lot of companies.
There's a lot of stuff going on overseas. So in terms of manufacturing, the chips are really hard to find. Glass is another big piece that people are having trouble with, which is why LCD screens are going crazy in terms of their pricing. And it is all related to the pandemic. So I mean, you can say we've been at this for a year, but at the same time, like that's a year's worth of time that you got to get caught up on. And when people aren't allowed to or able to get back to work at a normal pace, and it's trouble, man. I think it's they're in a tough spot. I think everybody in manufacturing is in a tough spot.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Carl?
Yeah. I mean, my only thing with any of these type of things is you're better off giving the later date and coming in early than to try and be so precise. And I think a lot of these companies make that mistake in trying to be so precise with their dates. Give a later date and then people get surprised that it comes early. That's better than saying a later date and then it's later than that particular date that you announced.
Speaking of which,
that's not always a good policy.
They're going to complain either way.
No, I'll give you an example why. Because I just lost my mind here in Canada there a couple days ago because Best Buy had received their pre-orders for their Arcade1Up Legacy cabinets, and they mistakenly thought there was a release date. So they had their supply and were just sitting on them because they had an arbitrary release date for no reason. And anyways, I called and I just explained it to them, and they kept explaining to me, no, you have a pre-order and the product doesn't come out until the 15th. And I was like, I assure you, you're wrong. But sometimes if you give that date, stores get confused, is what I'm trying to say.
I got you.
Yep. Well, guys, remind me what Carl just said when we get to AtGames about giving a later date but delivering earlier. And guys, if you're big AtGames fans watching our show, you definitely want to stick around for when I start talking about AtGames. Carl, remind me about that because PK told me I could do a little reveal of some information here for you guys. But that's got to wait till we get to AtGames. It's definitely disappointing and sad for fans of the Toy Shock who are waiting for those PCB boards because they have machines that are underperforming. We do appreciate the transparency of the Falkies and letting us know what's up. That's all we ask from these companies. Silence is deafening is a word I wrote on the Arcade1Up pinball page today, because a lot of folks are saying, myself included, are there going to be firmware updates? What's the status? What's going on? And silence is deafening. So at least giving us information helps, even if it's information we don't like. Does that make any sense? So I'd rather hear this than not hear anything at all. And hopefully that'll turn around for them as well. Let's talk about the other company now. We have so many things we want to talk about, and we really want to get through everything and not make this an hour-and-a-half show like we usually do. Let's talk about II Arcade. Hashtag IIR Glass is trending all over Twitter. Michael B. the Game Genie, what is IIR Glass, and why is this so important?
Well, they're going to change out that plexiglass bezel and replace it with a tempered glass piece. So that went live today, did it not, PDubs? So people could place their order. I think you placed your order, didn't you, PDubs?
Yep, I placed my order for my IIR Glass tempered glass screen protector, $50 free shipping if you just want the standard shipping. If you want to have it UPS to you and get it like within 2 days, they're going to charge you like $100 for shipping. But I'm not in that big of a rush. Yeah. So I'll pay $50 free shipping. That's a good deal. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I mean, for people that have been only into the arcades since like the Arcade1Up stuff came out and like some of the other stuff, and like you're used to plexiglass on your screen, it's one thing, but like real glass makes such a difference. And this was such a good move on II Arcade's part. I mean, the entire cabinet is premium, and now you get that premium cover over your screen as well. So good job on them putting this out and doing it at such a reasonable price. Like, I mean, even if you tried to get a piece of tempered glass cut and then put on your system, you're going to be paying just as much as that anyway. So good job.
Yep. Nostalgia, what do you think about the tempered glass screen? I want to hear your opinion on this. I'm a big fan of it, but before I, talk over everybody like I always do, because I can never shut up, why don't you tell us what you think about this product?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a ton to say. I think tempered glass is a smart move. I believe they're going to be the only company in this niche that is doing a tempered glass screen protector. So I think that's actually really cool, or I should say on an arcade machine. And I like it. It's definitely the better way to go. Easier to clean, doesn't scratch as easily. It's going to have better visibility. There's 1,000 reasons why it's a good move. So I think, yeah, good job. I like that they're doing this.
Absolutely. And I don't have any problem with my screen on the iArcade. So, I'm glad that people who are not satisfied with it have an option to upgrade it. So that's pretty cool.
Now, I did see a couple of folks in their fan pages, not too many, right? A lot of people are like, hey, it's an accessory. It's something new. I'm interested in it, or hey, I'm not interested in it. I saw a couple of folks who said, and this is what I find interesting, is whenever these companies come out with an accessory or something new, there's always someone out there who says, well, it should have came this way from the beginning, right? And there's a couple of people out there who feel that it should have came this way. But when I look at the 3/4 scale consumer market, nobody is releasing arcade cabinets with a glass bezel on them. We just got a couple of companies that have put glass on pinball machines, but II Arcade is taking the first step forward saying, we're going to come out with a glass bezel, right? Everyone else has been doing plexi. iArcade did do plexi. Now, iArcade did mess up. Although I have a great relationship with Zhang, I'll tell him any day of the week, you ship out plexi covers with only one side of the plexi protected, you're going to have issues, right? And a lot of people got scratched up bezels, and they were unhappy. And I totally understand and respect that. But guys, what do you think? Should glass have been included from the beginning since this was advertised as a premium cabinet? Or are people maybe having their expectations too high? What do you guys think? It's a
I
good
would
talk.
say yes. I would say yes. I mean, the Toy Shock at $400 came with tempered glass, and that thing is awesome. And so at that price, if they can afford to do it, and that's a much bigger piece of glass as well, I think on a premium product like that, it should have been included.
Okay.
And another point with that, I think because most people are used to that plexi being double sided with the protection, I think some people probably gnawed at their plexi trying to find a corner on that plexi because they're just so used to it being there.
Now, it would be nice for early adopters. It's nice that we can buy the accessory. Did Jong say, Michael B., if the glass would be included on the future cabinets by default, considering these are $800 cabinets, or is this going to be a separate accessory? Do you know?
No, I'm not sure, Patrick.
Oh, that's okay. Nostalgia, do you know? I didn't get to watch his.
That's Carl again.
That's me.
It's like a circus in that basement. Everywhere you turn, there's noise.
You guys look. I got this fancy microphone that picks up everything now.
Honestly,
You
you
can
sound fantastic tonight, by the way, and everything else in your house sounds fantastic too.
Oh, that's good.
Oh man. Oh, okay. Hold on. I'm prepping the next thing here. Now, the other super cool thing is obviously Space Ace came out last week, which we covered last Friday, and a lot of people have been buying it. It's now one of the top selling games on the cabinet. It plays really well. But also Jong dropped another a little nugget today. The Reventure has hit the game store, and I think it's only like $6 or something like that. $6 or $7. It wasn't that expensive on their store. I bought it, and I still haven't turned on my machine to download it yet. But anyone in the live chat, have you played Reventure before, or did you buy it on your iArcade and play it today? And was this a cool game for them to add to their library? Nostalgia, are you familiar with this game?
No, I've never even seen it. I've never heard of it.
No idea.
Yeah, I have no idea. Is this a modern game? Is this an indie game? Like, what are we talking about? Give me some context.
It's a modern indie game, but it has like, I think well over 100 endings or something of that nature. Like, I've never played it before, and I still need to download it onto the device. I did buy it. I just haven't even tested it out yet.
So is it one of those games that you can like do a whole bunch of different things, and depending on what you choose to do, you end up with a different ending?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah,
I like games like that.
Yeah, so when it comes to replayability, or it sounds like that. The replay factor, yeah, that it sounds like that's going to be there. And Jong did a live stream where he played this game for like 30-40 minutes for people, and it actually looked pretty fun. I like the retro, like all the look at these graphics. Isn't that hilarious? Michael B, is this going to end up on your iArcade?
I'm not sure. I'm going to have to look into it. It looks pretty cool, but I don't know if it's something that's going to. This looks like a game you could play on your watch. A lot of times, I'm going to be honest with your average gamer. That's a stylized choice intentionally, and they're going for a very specific fan base to try to pull at the strings of certain people, like especially old DOS base. Like I look at that and I think of old DOS base, adventure games you used to play on your computer back when I first got a computer in the early 90s. So that definitely kind of hits the funny spot for me right there. So maybe that's kind of the aesthetic they were going for. But
Kevkart does have a good point, though. He just posted in the chat that you spent $700 on Burger Time. What's another $8?
The line in the sand has been drawn, Michael B.
You got to do it now.
Yeah, but I really like Burger Time. I don't know if I'm going to buy this. I just got Space Ace. I'm also at a point, guys, like where, and all of us come to this at some point, where you just get overwhelmed by all the things you have and all the things you want to enjoy and want to play. Like I've got PlayStation 1 games still sealed that I haven't got to yet that I've been meaning to get to. So I'm at that point right now where it's just like game overload. And I'm the kind of person I like to play everything and finish everything. So, I don't know. I just got Space Ace, and I'm going to be streaming Space Ace tomorrow night, possibly. So let me get through Space Ace first, and then I'll make up my mind on Reventure.
All right, let's pivot over. So, guys, that's what's going on with iArcade. Now let's talk.
Wait, now before we move from iArcade, I did get my my fire stool finally from Harbor Freight.
Can you show it to us? Can you go grab it?
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's check this out. Detroit Love is going to put a swivel on this thing in about
What
2
was
years.
that?
Oh my God! It is a goddamn circus down there.
Who's making that noise?
Carl,
What was that?
put your phone on silent.
Look, man, these are urgent things here, man.
Oh my God! All right.
So, PDubs, can you from now on get the Benny Hill music? So whenever Carl has a segment, we can just play that in the background.
All right. Well, hey, can you bring the stool over? Like, I seriously want to see it. We've been hyping this thing up for weeks.
Well, I mean, I have the Double Dragon iArcade, so this thing is fire, baby, and it goes nice with it. It looks really nice with it. It's fire, baby. It's fire.
Fire stool sounds like bad Mexican. I can't handle it. Oh, sorry. Oh my God, I'm so red now. I'm Irish.
And for $35, man, you can't beat it. It's a spinning stool as well. I mean, even the $80 stools that Arcade1Up sales, they don't spin. So you can't beat the price.
There's no licensing. There's no licensing for fire.
Oh, absolutely.
What was the guy that is in that game we all played? We really liked Odyssey. No, not Odyssey.
Leisure Suit Larry.
No, not Leisure Suit Larry. It was just on Xbox Series X. We all bought it and played it. The Ubisoft game, the new one.
Immortals Phoenix Rising.
Yes, Immortals Phoenix Rising.
Like
and the guy that's tied to the mountain because he gave fire to the people. Did they have to pay? Did they have to pay licensing for the fire to him? How did it work?
Oh no, probably not.
Oh, for sure they did. What are you talking
Todd
about?
Cottrell. I didn't realize this was going to be a full hour of lap. Hey man, I put in the video description, giggles guaranteed tonight. We were going to have a lot of fun because there's just so much negativity out there in the world. And we like having fun here on the Super GameRoom Dudes Arcade and Gaming Podcast Show. And if you like the podcast show, you might like the merch.
So that's right, everybody. Head over to Nostalgia's Teespring store where you can pick up your very own Super GameRoom Dudes merchandise. You can see right here, this is the Michael B. Wins shirt. This is probably the one you're going to want to get. All the rest of them kind of suck. So head over to Nostalgia's Teespring store. Get my shirt. It's fantastic.
Hey, Mike, why don't you show them the shirt?
Yeah, can you stand up maybe a little bit? Come on, show us the tummy. Show us the tummy.
No, give it a little bit of a dance.
There you go. There you go. Michael B. Wins. There you go, guys. Oh my God, that was hilarious. Woo, that was so funny. All right, cool. All right, who do you want to talk about first? AtGames or Arcade1Up, guys? I'll throw it to the co-host here. Which one do you want to talk about first?
Nobody wants to talk about anything.
Make a decision.
Mike, you make the decision. No, Carl, you get to.
Yeah, I was sharing the link in for this Mexican delicacy.
All right, let's talk.
Let's go. Yeah, let's do AtGames.
Let's do AtGames. AtGames has a little less going on, but still they have some stuff going on. So for starters, guys, if you haven't picked up your AtGames Zakaria pinball packs yet, they're doing a sale this weekend. It's the most confusing sale of all time. This is the original. Is this the ad that makes sense, Michael B? Normally $50 per volume, now just $35 per volume. 10 volumes are available. How hard is it to say $15 off? Like seriously, like the struggle was real with this ad. We put this flyer on the fan page and people were like, what? Like, how much is it? But
there's some sales. There's some sales going on. To find out which ones, send away 2 AtGames for your decoder ring.
like you guys know I love AtGames, but this ad was worded hilarious, and even the remake ad is worded funny. But guys, basically, pinball packs are usually $50 a pack. They're on sale for $15 off this weekend for $35. That's it. Go buy your packs if you're interested. What excites me is it's not as good of a deal as on Nod. So if you buy all the packs, you're looking at $140 versus Nod it was $100 to get all the Zakaria packs. So it's a little bit more than Nod, not as good as Nod, but still, a pretty good deal. And a lot of folks are saying that the Zakaria games are a better experience on the pinball machine than the included games. What do you guys think about that? Is that a swing and a miss by Farsight or a swing and a miss by AtGames? Like, why are the add-on games a better experience than the games included?
I think a lot of that comes down to preference, really. Like some people prefer the Gottlieb tables, but they prefer the Magic Pixel physics. It's just the way the companies do business. I mean, I really like the Zakaria games. I was surprised. I thought that I can never say that right. Is it Zakaria? Zakaria?
Zakaria.
Zakaria.
Mhm.
A little bit of everything.
Zakaria.
Sugar and spice.
So, like, when I went into this, I was like, yeah, I'm really going to like the Zakaria original tables, but I ended up playing the remakes, and that was my favorite thing. So it kind of caught me off guard, but they're all really good experiences. I can't wait to actually play them on the Legends Pinball when they come up.
Even engineering degree to transcribe AtGames emails. Any pinball is good pinball. Now, guys, I've covered the Zakaria game packs on my channel. I did a review of the game packs, and I did say in my review, and I'll stand by it, that I honestly felt like the Magic Pixel did a great job on those games that got ported over. I actually feel personally that they are a better experience. But you guys know how much I love my Gottlieb games. I still enjoy playing those. But definitely those games really shine and kind of show you what that pinball machine can do, right? Am I wrong? What do you think, Rastalgia? You've been awfully quiet about this.
I really like those new tables quite a bit. I spent a lot of time messing around with them before they were released, and I like them. I like them quite a bit. I think they did an incredible job, both on your arcade machines and on the pinball. They work incredibly well. The physics is really nice. The ball has like the nice animated rotations. Mm-hmm. Everything is just like really nice and clean. They did it justice. So yeah, very happy with it.
Yeah, and the packs are just well rounded. I mean, it's something for everyone. If you like the standard EM games, they got you covered. If you like the solid state, they got you covered. The retro, they make those solid states more difficult by making them EM again. So it's a full load, and I am looking forward to the deluxe to see how those play and look and act. So I can't wait for it.
Yeah, Rastalgia, when are the deluxe tables being released?
I don't know.
Yeah, you do.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I do not know.
Next week?
I don't know.
Nostalgia, have you played some of the deluxe tables?
Don't even know what you're talking about.
Oh, look at this guy.
Oh, that's brutal, man. Like, you played them. Like, if they exist and there's something that'll eventually come out, you definitely played them by now.
Oh, I've definitely played them on my mobile phone, if that's what you're asking.
How much better are they than the tables
app.
they have? How much better are they than the tables that are out there right now?
They're good. They're very good.
What percentage better would you say?
60.39%.
There it is.
So, we might know when they're coming out, guys. Don't mean to tease you guys in the live chat. We know you guys are interested, but we can't tell you. But soon is the key word, right? Soon. So get excited. Those games are going to look and play and be even better on this system as well. The deluxe versions. Now, AtGames, though, did have a little hiccup, in my opinion, this week. I updated my firmware, the new pinball firmware that came out, and I don't know if it's just me. I maybe only saw one or two other people on the fan pages mention that there's some audio issues now after the firmware on the pinball machine.
What were they mentioning?
Like there's a delay now with the sound and the haptics with the Gottlieb games. But what's interesting is when I go to play, it's only happening on those games. When I still run the Zakaria games off of my USB, no issues. So I've seen that comment a few times today on their fan pages. I updated my pinball firmware, and I'm seeing the same thing. So guys, are you guys seeing the same thing out there? Let me know. Have any of you updated? Did you update your firmware, Detroit Love, today?
I didn't update it today, and if I had, I hadn't played the Gottlieb tables in a while, so I wouldn't have experienced that. I've been playing the FX3 games in these tournaments. And the last one I've sucked at, so I had to give up.
Yeah. Now, in my opinion, when this stuff happens, let me ask you guys a question. I want your honest answers in the live chat, everybody. When you know you have a connected machine with a company that has their in-house own engineers who also partner with the developers and, for the pinball games and stuff, and you know that they do weekly firmware updates, does it give you a better sense of security knowing that, hey, they released a firmware, and it's just like my company, the company I work at, you release a firmware, you fix something, but you end up unintentionally breaking something else, right? Even happens at my company. I work at a pretty big company, guys. But don't you feel a little bit better sense of security knowing that another update will be coming soon and it's not going to be stuck this way forever? Because unfortunately, like with the Arcade1Up pinball machines, like I posted it something on Arcade1Up, I was like, these pinball machines had bugs. Is there a fix coming? Nothing, no word, no response, no reply. And that concerns me as a consumer. It gives me that less sense of security that this is going to happen. So what do you guys feel about that? My long-winded question there. Do you think I'm off my rocker here or what?
Well, we're not going to answer that question, but your first question, indeed. I mean, sometimes it's overwhelming that every time I turn on my machine, there's an update. But at the same token, it's great that there's an update because if anything that they've discovered and found out about, they've fixed. So,
every time, Carl, you move your arms down, the vibrations go right into your mic, and it sounds like a thunderstorm. Yeah, it's wonderful.
You love it.
I do.
I'm full of sounds this week.
Yeah, you are full of something this week. That is true.
Well, I do hope that whatever that little bug is on the Gottlieb games gets fixed. Then now they did with the haptics. I guess they lowered the haptics down a notch, and
they dropped it from 100 hertz down to 80 hertz.
Right. So on like the Zakaria games, when I have the haptics on, there's less of a rattle. You know what I mean? Like with the cabinet. So, and I guess people were worried about the apron rattling and things of that nature. So, I mean, that's always good, right? Minus that, they got a whole ton of Gamer Pros that have arrived. So Gamer Pros are going to be out there again like crazy. Guys, keep your eyes on Walmart, Sam's Club, look for deals. I mean, if Walmart starts selling that thing for $99 again, how can you not buy it, right? That's a sweet deal. We had so many people join the AtGames gaming community within the last, a couple of weeks since those Gamer Pros went on sale. Their fan page blew up with members, and we saw all the same questions we always see from the newbies. Hey guys, how do I get CoinOps X? How do I link this to my PC? You know what I mean? Like it's going to keep happening, guys. We're going to keep getting more and more people buying these products, especially with the good deals. What are you going to say, Michael B?
Well, I think it's a great deal. Like even if you're someone who has a AtGames Legends Ultimate 1.1 who bought it at Walmart, maybe who doesn't have your pinball buttons, I mean, go grab a Gamer Pro for $100. You also got pinball buttons. Then you can stick on your AtGames Legends Ultimate if you want. I mean, that's a cheap way to pick that up while also getting the arcade stick while you're at it. So it's definitely a good value purchase.
Nostalgia, Conti would like to know, where can people get ROMs?
Well, you can't get them from me, but I've heard that Cool Toy is the ROMs dealer in the community. So you can usually find him, on the street, usually at the corner of King and Queen. Mm-hmm. He's always wearing a trench coat. He's got a ton of ROMs inside of his coat. So
yeah, and just to clarify though, that's for ROMs, straight ROMs. If you want the Hilo X stuff, you got to message PDubs through his Facebook. So PDubs, Facebook Messenger PDubs for Hilo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and I got a couple of those emails this week. I got a couple messages on Instagram, 2 on Facebook Messenger, 2 on Instagram. I got 1 DM on Twitter, and I think that was it. And where people are like, "Hey, love you, love the channel. Can I pay you money and can you send me ROMs?" You know what I mean? And it's like we can't do that. There's too much to risk. We don't know who you are. You know what I mean? Like, in all honesty, guys, if you follow YouTube channels, please do not ask YouTubers for illegal pirated content. We cannot share that with you.
I think the same rule applies like with prostitution. You can ask them, "Are you a cop?" and they have to tell you.
Are you a cop? Well, I don't have any experience there, Michael B. Is there something you'd like to share with everybody?
Saw it on TV on the Atlantic Satellite Network.
Oh, okay. It was a Discovery Channel episode. I was watching a documentary. Okay, guys, here is your sneak peek about AtGames. I was talking. PK called me on the phone yesterday. Kind of surprised me because PK doesn't call me very often. We usually just chat via message. So CEO PK calls me and we're talking about stuff, and he let me know something. And I told him, I said, can we let people know this news? This is great news. And he said, you can't tell them exactly, but you can kind of give them a teaser. So here's your teaser, guys. And you can read between the lines if you want. So for instance, National Owners Day, a lot of new products were announced, available for pre-order, and a lot of us made reservations. Expected arrival date for most of those items is still May 10th, right? So if you're looking for your Tetris mini cabinet and things like that, you're looking at May 10th for those products. But when it comes to your Legends pinball control decks, these products will be coming before May 10th, according to PK. So we will be getting these products sooner than later. And in fact, I know when, but he said I can't give the exact date because you guys know how it is. When stuff lands, it's got to clear and things of that nature. So if you guys pre-ordered a Legends pinball control deck, get hyped. Your pinball control decks will be here before May 10th, according to PK. So let's see what happens after that. What is so funny?
Bring up Sulpress comment.
He's a cop and prostitute. There you go.
Slash.
They're pretty much the same thing.
Zero Hero is here. I have a hard time saying his name sometimes. I stumble. Zero Hero. I'm a copstitute.
So Jeff Rainwater asked, "Is that a real thing?" That is a real thing. They have to tell you. If
They
you pull up and you're like,
certainly do not. That is not true.
"What? Are you telling me movies have lied to me?"
Maybe in Canada, and here in the United States, cops are allowed to lie.
100% they are allowed to lie to you.
Yep. So at least one of the products, possibly two from Nod, will be coming in before May 10th. And this relates to what Detroit Love said earlier when he said, give a date further and then surprise people and make them happy versus give them a date sooner and then piss them off when you can't meet that date, right? I mean, that seems like a good plan, Carl, don't you think?
Absolutely.
Because let's say those control decks come in this month in April versus mid-May. I think consumers are going to be a lot happier with that, right?
Right.
So that's why they call them Mounties. So, all right, guys, I can't keep sharing all that stuff on the channel, guys.
Yeah, who's binging over there and not acknowledging it?
Is that me? I hope that's not me.
PDubs, man, you are letting us down.
Oh man, now it's a circus here in my area. Okay, so nostalgia, but when it comes to the Tetris machine, everyone wants to know, when is that coming out? You got to let us know.
I don't know. You know more about that than I do.
Still around May 10th?
I don't know. That's what you just said.
For real?
For real.
With nostalgia.
That's good. I did not see that one coming at all. Wow. Look at the forehead on that.
Look at how good that looks. Oh, you are a beast.
Jeez.
You are a beast. Can you do me a favor? Next week, can you paint yourself blue? I need to see this in like real life.
I will absolutely not do that. But no, I'm not even going to entertain it. No, I will not do that. Wow.
Okay, guys, let's move on.
I will wear a vest with no shirt underneath, though.
All right, we got a lot to cover here, guys. We got to talk about Arcade1Up. We got to talk about Piepacker, and maybe we'll touch on VPinball if we don't run out of time.
Can me and Carl say one thing before we move on, before we
Sure.
leave AtGames?
Sure.
So I've been meaning to do this the last couple of weeks, and I just forget. But myself and Carl are admins for the ArcadeNet global fan page, and we want to get some people to go over there and check it out. I mean, if you have an ArcadeNet subscription, you're looking for a good place to meet up with other people to kind of arrange games. Like, say you wanted to set up like some kind of squash tournament or something like that, head on over to the ArcadeNet Facebook page, subscribe to it, and connect with people over there. It's a fun place, and everybody should go there. Carl, anything you want to throw in?
I couldn't have said it any better. What he said.
You know, you are becoming a good hype man, there, Michael B. When I first met Michael B, I didn't think he would ever do something like that. Now he's like, go to Nostalgia's Teespring store. Yeah, he was always raising his hand. You don't raise your hand so much anymore. You've grown so disrespectful.
I know. I'm horrible.
You're giving us Canadians a bad name, Mike.
All right, so let's talk. Let's pivot over to Arcade1Up. Let's talk real quick about the legacy cabinets. So the Bandai Namco, the Midway. I keep wanting to call it the Mortal Kombat, and the Capcom cabinets are out there, and we've seen some reviews coming out for these products. And also, we've seen pretty much the two biggest complaints is the visuals, right? Like, because the screen is so vertical. If you're like, I would guess, like I'm 5'11", like if you're 5'9" or so or higher. Like, you really need to sit down to play the Midway and the Capcom cabinets. It doesn't appear that the Pac-Man Namco one has that issue because the screen is slanted so far back. But yeah, guys, you have to sit down to play, which is a little sad because, you know, sometimes I want to stand up in front of my arcades, right? And then also the other big complaint from folks is the ledges on the control deck, right? And now real arcades did have ledges. I mean, not all of them, but a lot of them had ledges. But the difference is you would have anywhere from like 3 to 5, 6 inches between the joystick and the ledge. Plenty of room to fit a cupped hand playing with the joystick. I'm not going to do any joystick movements because we'll never live that down for the rest of the episode, right? You know, if I'm over here doing stuff like this.
So you do it anyways. So you just
you're somewhere between 3 and 6 inches too. So.
Right. Well, I kept it kind of low, right? Like, you don't know what's going on over here. But what's interesting though is, like, on the Arcade1Up cabinets, because they're 3/4 scale, you only have about 1.5 inches between joystick and ledge. So your hand is resting on the ledge predominantly. What do you guys think about this before I tell you my opinion? Go ahead.
I can't really say anything until I get to experience it for myself. I know a lot of people are pretty frustrated. The one review I saw where it actually stuck out to me and said, I can definitely see that being a problem was, I can't remember exactly whose review. It might have been Fishbee Productions for some reason, I'm thinking. That he actually showed that if you rub your hand off it enough, you can actually rub some of the earth off the cabinet. It'll start to peel off if you're rubbing in a certain way. So that concerned me. But again, it's something I got to see until I play it myself.
Joystick motioning is not a crime. Thanks, Dan, for sticking up for me. Everyone's panicking. What about you, Carl? What do you think about these legacy cabinets and the concerns with the ledges on the control decks and the screens being too vertical? What do you think, buddy?
Well, I don't have those height problems that you guys have, so it's probably perfect for me. You know,
I'm sorry. I gotta jump in. I gotta jump in there again. Why don't you have those height problems, Carl?
I don't know, because
No, you're supposed to say because I'm a shorty.
A shorty but Gordy.
Carl, how tall are you? Do you want to share with everybody?
I'm 5'7".
He's a very tall 5'7" for his age as well. He's growing really quickly. Like, it's very surprising that he's achieved 5'7" at this age. So kudos to you, sir. So yeah, that's what's funny too. It's like, I always thought Carl was like this big hulking brute. And I'm like, one day I'm going to meet Detroit Love and I'm going to be like, this guy could totally kick my ass. Like, the day I meet him. But
well, Carl, I can still do that, but
yeah, probably. Probably. That's where I was going. You ruined my joke. God, you guys have been broadcasting with me too long. You guys ruined my jokes. Okay, so back to this. Nostalgia, you didn't chime in here. What do you think about this stuff before I tell you what I think? Because I actually have one of these cabinets.
I have one coming very soon. It's going to be here in the next probably, I don't know, we're on the weekend, probably on Tuesday with the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking that the placement probably won't bother me so much. The thing I think that would bother me the most is that the fake T-molding that they use is really sharp on the edges. Like, you can run your finger on it and you can probably give yourself like a paper cut. It's like it's sharp. It's not like actual T-molding. T-molding is like nice and soft. It's rounded. You could rub up against it and it's not going to really cause any damage. But what they use is sharp. So I'd imagine that it'd just be like uncomfortable on your hand when you're kind of resting it and leaving it on there.
So I have it And in my opinion, the ledge gate is overblown. When I played my cabinet, it didn't really bother me at all. Yeah, true, my hand is sitting on that ledge a bit, my cupped hand, but it didn't really bother me from a playing perspective. I didn't feel like I couldn't execute or play the games or have a good time. However, here's the caveat. After playing on that machine, testing it, getting ready to film my review video for it, I noticed that one of our viewers here, they put it in the live chat earlier. The graphics have started peeling in that spot from my hand being there. You know what I'm saying? So it's not uncomfortable to play, but now my graphics are damaged on the edge of that, on the edge of the ledge. Does that make sense? It's starting to peel.
Yeah.
So that's my only complaint about it. Honestly, it didn't bother me at all.
So they elected to not put the plexi and go back into the Gen 1 control panel?
It's the art on the outside of the cabinet. You're rubbing against it, so it starts rubbing off on the outside of the ledge.
To be fair, I'm willing to bet you can go to any one of your Arcade1Up machines and just rub the edge a little bit, and you'll get to it'll start to peel off. The side art is incredibly it's not applied very well, and it's fairly cheap. So.
But those are my two biggest issues with the cabinet. Is not that the ledge is uncomfortable, is the fact that the artwork got damaged. And number two is I have to sit down to play. There is no way I can stand in front of this cabinet as it's designed. It's definitely shorter than the Costco. I actually put these things side by side. You guys will see in my review video, I did a lot of great comparison between the Costco and the Midway cabinet. That's why I haven't posted it yet, because it's taken a long time to edit this type of video.
Look at all that chrome.
What'd you say?
Look at all that chrome.
Oh, jeez. You're so weird, man. You're so weird. All right. So that's what's going on with the legacy cabinets. We'll have to find out more about that. Now let's talk about pinball. So we were talking about this earlier. So now that these pinball machines have been out in the wild, Michael B., what happened to you during the middle of the night that you texted us when you woke up in the morning? And I was like, yeah, same thing happened to me. Why don't you tell people about what happened with your pinball machine?
Which thing? You're going to talk about the PG thing, not the other thing, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah. No, okay. We can talk about the other thing later.
Okay.
Look at all that chrome.
Oh my God. Come on, man.
So last night I put my daughter to bed, and like usually happens when I'm putting my daughter to bed, I fell asleep and woke up like 4 o'clock in the morning. And like a normal human, I said, I'll get a cup of coffee now and go play pinball for a couple hours. So I came downstairs and I started playing pinball. And earlier in the day, my brother came over when I first got my table, and he put up a huge score on Medieval Madness. And I was determined that I was going to beat it, and I just slightly missed it earlier in the day. And I said, I'm going to go back and do it. So I started playing, and I scored 36 million. And I was like, awesome. So I went to put in my score. And when I hit M, usually I would follow that with an S, but for some reason it double fired, and I put 2 M's in by pressing the launch button. So then I put my B in, and I said, that's weird. I must have ham-fisted this. So I went back in, started playing again, got even better. I got a 46 million score, went to do the exact same thing, and this time I only lightly touched it. It still double fired and put in 2 initials under Medieval Madness for the top score. So I was like, geez, it must be just my cabinet. But I told you guys about it, and PDubs said the exact same thing was happening. So I want to make a joke about this. Like, everybody asked why the scores were so low on Marvel and Star Wars when these tables first came out, because the first time you play them, you're going to get like the top score. But the scores on Attack from Mars seem really higher. Maybe they made the scores so unattainable so you wouldn't realize the glitch was there with the double fire button.
No, because they use, I think, the scores that were programmed in the original arcades, but that is pretty funny. So what's funny is, yes, so there's a definite glitch in Attack from Mars. You're supposed to be able to use either the plunger or the launch button to enter your initials when you enter your a leaderboard score. But when you hit the launch button, it enters it twice. If you hit D, it goes DD. Right? And if you try to hit backspace, it'll delete everything, right? So you either run out of time to put your initials in, or you end up putting in bogus initials, right? It's messed up, right? Now, on the Marvel pinball machine, which I also have, that issue is not present. You know what I mean? Like you can hit the launch button and it enters one letter. It doesn't double enter letters. I put a post on the Arcade1Up page today. I was like, is this something you guys can fix? Let us know. And no response from them or Zen Studios. So so that's one small issue. Obviously, we've all identified that Whitewater is absolutely unplayable. So you pay $600 to get a cabinet with 10 games, but only 9 work. So we're waiting to hear if Arcade1Up and Zen, because they can flash the firmware on this Nostalgia, right?
They should be able to.
Right. So it's like either, give us a firmware update via micro USB to fix the games or replace it with something else, right? If that game can't be optimized. What do you think, buddy?
The reason why I'm hesitant to think that they're going to do it is because their firmware is not locked down. It's very easily exploitable. So maybe Zen Studios doesn't want to release a public firmware where people can download it, because I'm telling you right now, the firmware on their website, I can grab that firmware. I can very easily, anybody can easily extract it. You can pull ROMs right out of it. You can change the coding. I already soft modded it, and on some of the firmware, they include ROMs that are not even included on the cabinet. So I don't know. I mean, they don't really know. It appears they really don't know what they're doing when it comes to building that firmware. So maybe it's like a security scare for them. They could, if they were Wi-Fi connected, they could easily fix that. Do I think that they'll do it? I don't know. It depends on whether or not Zen Studios feels they've kind of fulfilled their end of the agreement in terms of that contract.
Go ahead.
So I've been taking in everything you said, and it's given me a lot to think about, but mainly, so this is your fault.
Who?
That we can't get an update.
My fault.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm currently in the process of getting RetroArch running natively on the Arcade1Up, so maybe. I don't know.
You heard it here first. We're not going to get an update because of nostalgia.
Sorry, guys.
That's too bad. So, but
yeah, sorry, guys.
I think Michael B forgot to tell the most important thing about the story. So, middle of the night, he plays pinball, sets a high score of Medieval Madness. And what was your high score?
I believe it was like 171 million.
Nope, don't lie. Tell the truth. This is important.
It's 46 million.
All right, so he sets 46 million, right? And I set a high score. So the same thing happened to me. We're both playing the same game at the same time. We have the same initial error, but let's point out that PDubs scored 60 million on Medieval Madness versus what did you have there again, Michael B?
46 million.
Okay. Now, do you want to know why I managed to beat your score so easily, like dominate you, correct you?
PDubs, I don't know why you're so excited about this. I've only learned how to play with 2 flippers like 3 days ago. You sound like you're really doing anything special here by beating me, buddy.
Well, this is going somewhere. I want to tell you what I do to when I play my Attack from Mars pinball machine. The way to get a high score is to have someone help you, right? To have a close friend to be there and support you. So I'm going to let you guys in the loft behind the scenes. This is what happens, and this is how PDubs achieves Attack from Mars high scores. And that's how you beat Michael B. the Game Genie in pinball.
It looks like the alien was taking advantage of you in a couple of those shots.
That movie was terrible. Terrible. Hashtag release the Snyder cut.
All right. But that's what you need, guys. Sometimes you need someone to hold you up because these Arcade1Up pinball machines are so tall. Someone's got to hold you up and get a good view of that table, get a good view of that DMD so it's less washed out and you're able to actually secure a great score in pinball. Mike, did you enjoy that, Michael B?
I really enjoyed that. I was laughing quite a bit. I assume I was muted so you couldn't hear it. But can I ask you an honest question?
Yeah.
Did you actually buy that for your Attack from Mars review and it didn't come in time, so you did that after the fact? Yeah, I thought so.
I was like, damn it, it's not here, but I got to get this review out.
Amazing.
Oh, well, I like that.
Wow.
A lot of people enjoyed that video in the live chat. Thanks so much, guys. We live to serve. We live to entertain. Nostalgia, did that make you want to now do your Buck Hunter review that we've been waiting for?
Yeah, that was the first thought that came to mind. I'm watching that. I'm like, man, this is making me want to review Big Buck Hunter. Yeah, that's exactly.
Like, I can't wait to dress up like Mrs. Cogs and do the Buck Hunter review.
Oh, man. I don't know that that's happening, but yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
That was epic. But hey, man, it's all about having fun, right? You know, goofing around in your arcades, you know. I thought that was hilarious. So, you know.
Yeah, I enjoyed that quite a bit.
Can you imagine if that was the intro to my Attack from Mars review video? Like, everyone would have, like, turned it off. Like, I'm not even going to watch the review.
So, you know what would make me so happy right now? We know Carl had to leave, so he didn't exit the conversation. He just left his screen there. Please tell me he didn't mute it, and everything that happens in his house is still going to come on the video.
Well, so Carl did tell me before the show that he had to leave at 9:40 Eastern time or something like that, or 10:40 was it? I can't remember what time. But he had something to do, so he may have left for that. You know, he does have kids too, you know, and stuff like that. So, all right. What else is on our? We hit an hour. Are we done, or do we?
No, we're not done. We have so much more.
We want to talk about other things? All right, we got a $5 super chat from Zohar. What are the chances you allow Nostalgia to do a video tour of his figures in the back? They're really cool. I'm all for it. Nostalgia, do you have a mobile camera? Do you want to do that?
I do not. So why don't we do maybe next week I can show that. We're talking about just these ones here?
Yeah. Or wherever. He wants to see them.
I've got I don't know what is in there. There's 10 of them in there. It's just those are my Batman figures. So
oh yes. Okay. All right, go ahead. No, you were saying.
We'll do that maybe next week or something. As soon as I can figure out a way, maybe I'll pull them out and have them on the desk and show them off that way or something. I got a funny story about one. I'll probably tell it to you next week. But I moved from one house to another, and I dropped it, and it shattered. And I nearly lost my shit. So I gathered everything and got super glue, and I spent like 4 hours super gluing every stupid piece back together. But I guess I'll show that to you guys later.
That's a lot more work I would have put into it.
Oh my god, the people who watch our show are hilarious. This is a funny comment as well.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll plan on doing some game room tours in another episode. Like maybe we could all do tours on the same episode. We just tour around all of our houses or something.
Yeah, we could have done a tour of my house this past week when I took everything out of my arcade, put a home gym and all my storage stuff in here, and then decided to remove it all again. So it's been a fun week.
All right. Well, there is something I did want to talk about here because, you know, we got another new thing hitting the world very, very soon. We have Piepacker coming. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with this or not. So timeless retro games, online multiplayer, and video chat. Nostalgia, why don't you do you want to kick it off here and kind of tell people what this is?
Yeah, I will in a second. I got M. Tucker asking me what is the Thanos thing on my desk here.
Oh, let's get you full screen here.
It's just a Thanos action figure that's still sealed in the box because that's just how I do. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's all it is. I also have Iron Man behind me, too.
So you're like anti-Cool Toy. Cool Toy takes everything out. You leave it in the box.
I don't – it's not like a choice. It's just because, like, I get them and then I set them aside and then I don't ever do anything with them at that point.
Like your Arcade1Up cabinets.
Yeah, I've still got Outrun sealed in the box in the garage. I've got my Marvel pinball. I have not opened that yet, and I've had that for weeks. I just opened up my Attack from Mars, and I probably should do a video on that. But yeah.
Now,
no, it's
also to notify everybody, the return policy at the Brick, where he bought his Marvel pinball, is 48 hours. So that's long since lapsed.
yeah. So I'm assuming that it's working out of the box, but if it doesn't, I'm pretty much SOL. So
Yeah.
So we have Brad, who we love. Brad, he asked us, why do we not have all of our arcade machines turned on behind us? Well, for starters, a lot of them look washed out this far back.
yeah, look at what's happening on my NBA Jam.
I mean that doesn't look pretty. What Nostalgia's got, and number two is sometimes, depending on the camera you're using or whatever, sometimes the auto focusing will try to focus on like whatever's on that screen, and then it kind of looks terrible as well. It'll make me all blurry. Nathan Henderson, $5 super chat. Think that alien is familiar with Piepacker? All right, let's
He uses a different service called Fudge Packer.
now let's talk about Piepacker, because they've actually had marketing firms reaching out to YouTubers, seeing if we would do their beta testing and stuff. So I know a lot of us are considering signing up for this, but we wanted to kind of talk about what this is. And Nostalgia, go ahead, my friend, so I can help get the chats on the screen.
Yeah. So I mean, so it's actually a two-part system. So they have a digital service, and then they also have a physical device that's going to be released as well. But in terms of the digital service, it's very similar to what we see with Arcade1Up, where they have a bunch of retro games on an online server that you can log into on your PC. You can invite your friends to play into your instance, and you can actually play those games online with your friends where you may have never been able to play those games. So I think they're launching with like 60 licensed titles. And then the second piece is that they've got a piece of hardware that you can actually take your physical game cartridges, dump them into it. It'll dump the ROM, upload the ROM into the server, and then you can actually play the games that you own on the server by inviting your friends in with you as well. So it's pretty interesting. It's going to be dependent on, you know, the quality of the server, and if their technology for dumping the ROM actually works really well. That'll be interesting. I feel like there may be some licensing stuff going on there that I'm not 100% sure how they got around. Just because when you got a physical game and you dump the ROM, you have a license for that ROM to be played natively, but I think cloud is different. So I'm curious to know how that's all going to work. But I guess, I mean, whatever, it's your game, so do with it as you please.
So folks in the live chat, start throwing your comments in here. As you can see here, this is a way to play online retro games together with your friends and kind of have like a face-to-face, head-to-head type experience. I mean, we are moving into this more and more modern digital age, right? And you know, this could be fun, right? I'm willing to beta test it and see, like, is it cool? Is it good experience? But I want to hear your guys' feedback. Michael B., what do you think about this?
I think it's really, really cool. It's really innovative. The fact that you can bring your game in, as long as, like Nostalgia said, it's legal. But I'm excited to try it out. I remember when people first started talking about Nintendo Online, and we started talking about playing those games online, and I was like, how cool would it be to play some classic Nintendo games against each other, but online? Like, I've got friends in North Carolina, Seattle, Washington, and like, I'll never get a chance to play a game with them, probably one-on-one. But now with a service like this, we could probably load up an NES game. Like, we could play ice hockey against each other, even though we're in different places. So I'm very excited about NHL 94. Well, there's already different ways to play NHL 94 against each other. But yeah.
Real quick, guys, Dwayne in the chat says he sent a super chat and we missed it. I just scrolled back through the chat, my friend, and I don't see it. My chat only goes back to the 7-minute mark on the screen I'm at. So if I missed your super chat, I'm so sorry. But send me an email to pdubsarcadeloft@gmail.com, and I can obviously refund you, or I'll send you oh, you know what? Email me your address, Dwayne. I'm going to send you a Pac-Man tote bag. So I'm going to send you a free gift. So
he didn't offer you a sticker, so you're probably going to get it.
Well, I'll put a sticker in there as well. But no, the tote bag it's not like I want to get rid of it because I hate Pac-Man. It's just it's a fun giveaway. So we'll do that for him. I hate it when we miss a super chat like that. So Okay, so we're going to be beta testing this and checking it out. I've already signed up for the beta program. I'm already in. So we'll give it a go. It doesn't hurt to try new things. I'll be honest though, am I super excited? Like this is going to be the greatest thing ever? Not yet. You know what I mean? Not yet. But it could be fun. And Michael B, it'd be another way for me to kick your butt in video games, my friend.
Yeah, but that's not very hard. So come on now.
You guys are funny.
Yep. So guys, if you're interested, so they're going to be doing a Kickstarter. If you guys want to check out their website, it's just Piepacker, which it's kind of a goofy name. Just go to piepacker.com. Spelt just like it sounds, piepacker.com. The Kickstarter starts on April 20th, which is in a few weeks, 17 days. And you can get up to speed and see if this is something you're interested in. So this is kind of, it's interesting.
Absolutely interesting.
I like the concept. So
yeah,
I like the concept. And we are playing, like, think about it, guys. Like, everyone's like, do you think like 4 years ago, people would have been like, God damn it, I wish this arcade, well, actually, no, they haven't been around 4 years. Is it 2 years ago? Is it 2 years? When did Arcade1Up release the Mortal Kombat Generation 1?
2018.
Right. So do you think in 2018, they came out, and let's say before AtGames came out, where they had ArcadeNet and the ability for us to play, because they have the ability to play games online immediately upon launch. But do you think when that Mortal Kombat cabinet came out, people were like, God dang it, Arcade1Up needs to make Mortal Kombat online back in 2018, the first generation? No, people were just excited to have a Mortal Kombat, right? But now here we are a couple years later, and we have online play with a lot of these companies, iArcade, Arcade1Up with NBA Jam, right? And then also, of course, AtGames, right? Who's kind of like, in my opinion, the leader of that stuff, because they've been building the infrastructure for years, and they already have so much of it set up. Whereas it's not like peer-to-peer, they actually have servers and things like that. So what's interesting is now everyone's like, they expect the next Mortal Kombat cabinet from Arcade1Up to have online connectivity to play each other, right? It just seems like that seems to be the direction we're heading. Am I wrong? Like, we all want to have connected games, even if these games weren't designed that way originally. What do you think, Michael B?
Well, I mean, this is a different animal. This is not arcade. This is console. So we got to be clear about that console. And looks like there's also some.
Well, there's some arcade games. There's some arcade games in there. They have Rage of the Dragons and things like that.
Okay. Well, I mainly saw this console where you could bring your own cartridge. But yeah, I think that Arcade1Up opened their own Pandora's box when they started delivering Wi-Fi capabilities for NBA Jam. Like, it was awesome, like dope AF, because no one expected it. If they had just released an NBA Jam without that feature, everybody still would have said, holy poop, NBA Jam. But then the fact that we got a taste of it, now we wanted every cab to be Wi-Fi. And there's a huge benefit to these cabs having Wi-Fi. It's because the updates can be done so easily and so painlessly. But it's just, once we were given it, now we want it on everything. It's like a light up marquee. They take away light up marquees, we're going to be like, where are the light up marquees?
Yep. Yeah, it just seems that, even though these retro games that we all grew up with and that we all love growing up with, we want to play them with our friends, even if they're across the country, is where I was going with that, Michael B. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. I think it's interesting, but, is it as cool as, like, what about like the Nintendo Switch, Michael? You and I can play an 8-bit Nintendo game together and a Super Nintendo game together.
Provided it's on their, list of games that they have, right?
Mm-hmm. On the Nintendo list, you're saying, on the Switch list? Yeah, we could do that. But this one here is, you're going to be able to bring your own cartridge, right, Ristalgia?
That's right.
Yeah, that's what it appears to be. So, but it doesn't. I don't know if you can find a picture of that that console ROM dumper.
Let's see. I thought I saw it in the trailer, right?
It's definitely in the trailer. I just don't know where it was.
Well, nope, that's a cartoon.
No, it was farther in.
Yeah. Well, we'll just have to be patient.
Okay, so we'll just sit here and watch for 3 minutes. But no, the what it appeared is that it was one single cartridge slot. And the cartridge that they had on there looked like a Super Famicom cartridge. So it opens up a lot of questions. Are we talking when they say bring your own game, they're going to provide you with one device that can, say, pull ROMs off of, pull the game files off of Super Nintendo cartridges?
Wow.
Or are they also going to be able to do, we got a big super chat there, but are we also going to be able to do like NES, Sega Genesis? Yeah, right here. Pause it. There you go.
Oh, sorry. I was
There's
checking.
adapters for nostalgia. If you take a look at it, if you go back, I know
That's what I want to see. Yeah, so close that out. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there's
an
an adapter.
So yeah, I can see that there. So my gut says they're going to sell you the base console. The Pi Reader is what they're calling it. And then you'll probably have to buy the console adapter for what you want. So I'm assuming we're going to have support for Super Nintendo, regular Nintendo, Sega Genesis, maybe Game Boy, Game Boy Advance.
No.
You don't think so?
Nope.
What else could they possibly do there?
I don't know.
You're getting NES. You're getting Super Nintendo, Super Famicom. You'll get Sega Genesis and
probably get like the Master System and stuff like that.
Maybe Master System. Maybe there's not 100%.
I thought it was the same pinout. So maybe if they can do one, they can do the other.
Yeah.
Master System and Genesis, same pinout.
I thought it was the same pinout, but maybe I'm wrong. Well, I'm thinking about the Retron 5.
Yeah,
because the Retron 5 came out. You could pop the. I think you could put Master System and Genesis in the same cartridge slot, but maybe I'm wrong about that.
All right, we'll get to this super chat in a minute. Real quick though, one of the funniest things I've ever read here is you guys remember the movie Cable Guy? One of my favorite movies of all time. You remember there's the information superhighway. We're playing Mortal Kombat with a friend in Vietnam. You know what I mean? That's Zohar. Thanks so much for that, man. I love that. Yeah. Keon sent us a $50 super chat. Thank you, PDubs, and the rest of the peeps who helped me get AtGames Legend Pinball reservation taken care of. Use this for a future giveaway or something as a token of my appreciation. Keon was having some issues, and he was talking with us in Discord about getting his order fulfillment, and we, of course, helped him out. And also, AtGames stepped up as well to help Keon out. So it was really cool community effort to make sure that he didn't miss his Legends Pinball Machine order fulfillment email. And he got that done today. And his pinball machine will be on the way to him soon. So yeah, I love it. I love it when the community comes together. Go ahead, buddy.
Awesome. So also, I was talking to Adam12, who should be here in the comments, and he's a Wave 3 pinball order person as well, and he's trying to get some answers as well, because I know that a lot of people have started to get their Wave 3 orders, and he's trying to get some answers on that. So maybe we can talk about that afterwards.
We could talk about that right now. I think we kind of covered Piepacker. Well, I mean, right now it's in the infancy stage, right? The Kickstarter is coming. And we'll just have to see what it's all about. So once we actually get the beta stuff and actually start tinkering with it, right? So go ahead, Michael B. What were you saying?
Well, I was talking to Adam 12 earlier, and I had seen a lot of friends, like my friend Crow. He actually put in his he got his AtGames Legends pinball today, so he's a Wave 3 guy. And Adam's trying to figure out, he hasn't got his email yet for his Wave 3 reservation. So trying to figure out where we are in the process. And the AtGames listed that they're hoping to have everybody done by April 1st, but I'm assuming they're still working on Wave 3 as we speak.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, that should be wrapping up very soon. It has to be. They've had a lot of pinball machines coming in every other week. Yeah, you know what I mean, from the import tracking that I do. So, if they didn't finish Wave 3 this week, it's got to be finished next week, I would assume. Okay. And keep in mind, guys, it's just an assumption. So, let's see here. What else is going on? Skynet has. Arcade doesn't seem that bad of a name next to Piepacker. Yeah, they need a new name, in my opinion. All right, so I think we touched on everything we wanted to touch on, did we, fellas?
Nope. VPinball.
Oh, you want to talk VPinball? Okay.
Yeah.
What's going on with VPinball?
Well, they shut down the site.
Oh yeah, yep. We all heard about this. Nostalgia. What happened with VPinball?
The owner of the site, it's been a while now. There's been several. It's probably been going on for at least a year that he's been fairly vocal about it, but maybe even longer than that now. He shut it down. He's just having a lot of issues. There's a number of small independent businesses that are kind of taking everything that they've got, loading it into VPin machines and selling them. There's also other people who are like compiling these packs of all these tables and selling them on Etsy and eBay and things like that. And he doesn't really want to be a part of that. So because they were getting a lot of that stuff from his site, he felt the best approach was to archive the site for now. I don't know exactly what the future of this is, but at the same time, I mean, his biggest position is that, you know, these people who are selling these game packs are really going against the wishes of the table creators themselves. So I can certainly understand the frustration there.
Yeah, and I get that. I get it, and I don't. You know, because it was probably, and keep in mind, I just have begun my VPX journey. Right, I'm working on my first VPX build. We've talked about this on the channel, and VPinball was one resource, right? But there's other resources out there. But I really liked the layout of the website and everything, right? Like it was really well done. Now some of these other websites like they not as pretty, right? Not as easy to navigate. But I get the frustration because people were building packs and, you know, but they were selling the packs commercially, right? And I totally understand the creators getting upset about that. But then again, you know, the selling part I don't like. The pack thing, though, is the pack thing so bad? That's what I'm trying to get to. The selling thing, absolutely. Like, if guys were downloading and creating builds and selling the packs, kind of like CoinOpsX. Like, I'm not a fan of people selling CoinOpsX on eBay or Etsy or stuff like that, right? When it's something that you could download and do yourself for free. But the guy's selling it, like, you know, making a profit off other people's work. Like, I totally get that argument. But what about just if people were able to access a pack, you know what I mean? Like for free, not they're not paying for it. Is that such a bad thing? And it seems like the VPin community really wanted people to go table by table. You know what I mean? They want you to go table by table by table by table versus getting a pack that had a couple hundred tables on it.
It's a little bit more complicated than that, I think. I mean, these tables are. Oh, we got Carl back.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Carl.
What up?
So these tables, one, they take a very long time to make. This is not something that somebody throws together in a weekend. This is something that takes people months, if not years, to complete certain tables. There's a lot of tables that have years of development in them, and the biggest problem is that there are like quote unquote rules to those sites, to the communities, and one of the biggest thing is, you know, you gotta respect the table creator. They made this table so you can enjoy it. They're not monetizing it, they're not selling it, they're not trying to make money off of it. They're doing it for the community, and they don't want their tables included in a game pack that is just going to get looked over. They want people to, if they're getting involved into the hobby, they want people to spend the time, learn the software, learn the quirks, learn the ins and outs, teach yourself how to do this properly, and make it a proper experience. And I think that, you know, the idea of them being annoyed about the packs, I don't have any gripe with that. If they're annoyed with it because they said, hey, don't put our tables inside of packs, and people are going behind their back to do that and then monetize it and sell it, even if they're giving it away for free, that's not what the table creators want. So respect that. Because if you lose those table creators, you guys are going to have a whole bunch of nothing. So these are not things that, you know, is super easy to do. So I kind of get where they're coming from on this one.
Yeah. Now, the guy ended up taking down the entire website. And Carl, how did you feel about that happening?
Well, you know, I had a pretty strong opinion about it. I understand exactly what Ristal is saying and what the community feels. But I feel if you really love this hobby that, you know, you proclaiming, why just abandon it like that? That just seems reckless, in my opinion. And why not pass it on to someone else to manage it if you're just so fed up with it, if it's such a great resource, which it was to the community. So I just didn't get that. You know, I just feel it was something else behind the scenes, because obviously people have been sharing, just the same way ROMs have been shared from Cool Toy and other people there. You know, it's been happening. And again, you can't throw the baby out with the bathwater because something doesn't go exactly the way you want it, because that's life. You know what I mean? And if you really love this hobby and want to see it flourish, to close down a site like that's a great resource. It's just a ridiculous thing, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I don't think anything's lost. I think he's just kind of blocked it from the public. I mean, you can do that with websites. You can essentially say, hey, everything that you used to be able to do, you can't do anymore. And from a public's perspective, they've shut it down. But on the back end, all that stuff, all the content, all that information still exists. And I mean, I've talked to a number of people that are very, very intertwined in that community, because I'm not super into that community. I've only really been, into the VPin stuff for a couple of years now. So the community there, I mean, they're very supportive of one another, and there's a lot of guys that even have other sites that do the same thing, that are all in very good communication. There's no competition, no bad blood in that sense. And everybody is just wanting, the best result for everybody. And I don't think that this is one of those situations where he's going to just, shut it down and say, screw everybody. We got 5% of the people in the community are the rotten apples, and 95% are the ones adhering to the rules, actively participating and contributing and things like that. I think that there's going to be a reevaluation period. And I think that, I don't know that we're going to get VPinball back, but I'm sure that in time we're going to get an alternative that is equal to. But it's probably going to look a little bit different. I think that, I don't know. I get it. I don't know that I would have done the same thing as abruptly, but that's not to say that, my opinion is the right opinion. It's just, that's what I think.
Yeah. And it stinks too, because myself and others are just starting this journey, right? And to lose such a valuable resource kind of stinks, even though there are other resources out there. But to lose one of the best resources kind of hurts. And yeah, people have been doing packs for this stuff for a while, actually, and also commercially selling these in a machine, like, these VPI. Oh, come buy my $4,000 or $5,000, virtual pinball machine, and it's already preloaded with everything. Like, this stuff has been happening for a long time. It's not new. This didn't just start. You know what I mean? But the fact that it finally built up to this is kind of sad. So,
yeah, but even Game Room Solutions, when Game Room Solutions had their pinball thing, they had a tutorial that walked you through, and they had a game pack. You know what I mean? I didn't see people burning down the bridges and the barns when that was happening. I think there's something else behind the scene that he's not really bringing to the front that's causing this. It's clearly not because of what was reported.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is once again our on-the-scene reporter, Detroit Love, coming to you live from the Arby's parking lot.
Jason gave us a $5 super chat. No question, just showing my support. So let's see what happens. A couple of the guys who run the other virtual pinball websites that we've kind of shared their names in the comments here, VP Universe, VP Forums, have actually reached out to the gentleman who runs VPinball.com and offered to host his stuff on their servers, from what I saw in the VPX Facebook groups and things like that when I was looking into what's been going on. So we'll see what happens, right, guys? This just happened. I don't think we know enough to properly report on it. But I do think that is virtual pinball going away? Is no one ever going to see it again? Absolutely not.
Chance, no.
Not a chance, bro. Like, once it's out there, once something hits the internet, it's there forever, baby. So if you're a virtual pinball fan, don't worry, guys. It's just a hiccup in the road on the journey to building the ultimate virtual pinball machine. We've hit 90 minutes, guys. It's really time to pull the plug. I did not want to do a 90-minute show, but you guys made me do it. Remember, it's all the Canadians' fault. Do me a favor, guys.
Just when you think you're out, we keep dragging you back in.
Do me a favor, guys. Make sure you give us a thumbs up on the way out, no matter what YouTube channel you're on right now, because we're live in 4 channels. Give us a thumbs up on the way out. Leave your comments and feedback. Make sure you subscribe to all the hosts. And we always appreciate it when you guys hang out here at the Super Game Room Dudes. Who wants to do Carl's outro? We can't end the show without Carl's outro.
Mike
Nostalgia.
No, I already said it first. Mike does.
Nostalgia.
I don't even remember what his outro is.
Well, guys, we will see you on the web. Wait. Before we do that, before you guys leave, don't leave yet, guys. Before you guys leave, what we'll do here is we'll play that HBO thing for you guys on the way out.
Oh, for the love of God. No.
So,
Oh, look,
Carl. You got him.
all right,
Yeah.
Carl,
Here he is.
send
Hopefully
everybody
the
out.
outro.
Send
Don't crash
everybody,
your car.
send everybody on their way so we can roll the outro.
All right, guys. We appreciate you guys checking us out this week. As always, make sure you like our videos. Make sure you subscribe if you hadn't. And until next time, guys, we'll see you on the road.
Enjoy the HBO, guys.